I really want to make a cool nether portal room, so I need to dig out the space to do that. While I'm digging out the space, I'm going to be reading some Reddit stories. Thank you for finding my channel and clicking on it. I really appreciate it. Let's go ahead and give our unneeded opinions. Am I the asshole for confronting my boyfriend's female friend after years of boundary issues that escalated into a huge group argument? So I, 24 female, have been with my boyfriend, 26 male, for a while now. And there's one woman in his friend group, a 25 female, who's always been a major source of tension for me. She's been in his life for years before I came along, and they're very close, constantly texting, hanging out in groups, and sometimes one-on-one. I've never told him he can't have close female friends, but her behavior towards me has always felt off. She regularly makes comments that feel like subtle digs about our relationship, things that imply I don't really understand their friendship, or reminding me that she's known him longer in a way that feels like she's ranking herself above me. She also has a habit of bringing up their closeness and inside jokes in front of me in a way that always feels pointed, not casual. On top of that, she often shows photos of them where they're extremely physically close, like cuddle up on couches or in bed while watching movies, and laughs it off like it's normal, while I'm just sitting there feeling awkward for reacting at all. My boyfriend always says she's just affectionate with friends, and I'm overthinking it. Recently, it all boiled over at a group hangout. She made another comment in front of everyone about how it must be hard dating someone who never fully understands what we have. People laughed awkwardly, but the mood shifted immediately after. I finally spoke up. I told her I was tired with the constant comparison and comments, and if she had an issue with me, she could say it directly to me instead of making little remarks in front of everyone. She immediately accused me of being insecure and trying to control her friendship with him, but instead of stopping there, she escalated it, bringing the whole group into it, asking everyone if they thought she had done anything wrong, framing it like I was attacking her for no reason. Suddenly, everyone was involved, talking over each other, and it turned into a full-blown argument with the entire group split down the middle. In the heat of it, I made a comment on how it's very telling what her true intentions were when she has a long-standing history of breaking up multiple relationships within their group by sleeping with her male friends or their girlfriends. Afterward, I was told I blew everything up and embarrassed her in front of everyone by my boyfriend. Well, I feel like I was being pushed into finally saying something after it had been building up for a long time. So am I the asshole for confronting her and refusing to ignore it anymore? The poster added some more context, so I'm going to share that. The reason I'm still with him is because I'm pregnant, and I want to do anything in my power. At least I know I tried my best to give my future child a home with both parents together. It's not a definite to me that we will stay together, but I would like to make sure everything was tried before we make a decision to split. Now, this can be a hard situation. I do understand you're pregnant. It's difficult. You want to stay together. But at some point, you have to choose yourself for your children. I know many families have stayed together just because they have kids, and oftentimes, the kids can tell, and it's not worth it. I think the most telling part of this entire story is the fact that your boyfriend still chooses to take her side. I definitely think that you are worth better than this, and I do think that it's probably time to call the relationship an end. Am I the asshole for asking my wife to do more around the house? Throwaway as she knows my mate. I am 45 male and my wife is 40 female. We have 2 kids, both early teenagers, and both work full-time. Previously, we split a lot of chores evenly. She's really great at cooking, so she did more. I enjoy cleaning, so I did more, and we split the rest evenly, and the kids pitch in too. She has not been lucky recently. She got into a bad car crash about 20 minutes ago, broke her spine, hip, and leg. She was on heavy painkillers for a while during healing. However, 4 months ago, the painkillers caused her to have a series of seizures. Probably should mention these injuries from the crash have caused long-term pain for her. She's legally disabled, and now she won't take any painkillers in case they start up seizures again. Her choice, but relevant. One of the long-term effects of this is she can't drive until she's 12 months seizure-free, and she has a commute to work using public transportation. Unfortunately, this is almost 2 hours each way, and there is no way around this. We've explored many options like ride shares, etc., and that is not an option. My job is to help pay the bills, and honestly, I'm not a career person. Less stressful hours than hers, but her 30-minute drive is in the opposite direction, so I can't drive her there. Over the last few months, I have to pick up a lot more around the house, as she leaves so early, 6 a.m. to get to work and 8 a.m. arrival, and doesn't get back until 6 or 7 p.m. She has a very high-stress job, and she's the main breadwinner, so she doesn't want to change jobs. It means a lot of things she used to do falls on me now, as when she gets back, she often falls asleep around 8. She's also frankly useless on weekends, only does the bare minimum, meal prep, laundry. She says it's because she's tired, and she's in a lot of pain. We live in a very cold and wet area, and now she says the weather is contributing to this, but we can't move right now. Over the weekend, I've asked her to do more around the house. I'm really sick and tired of having to pick up everything myself. We got in a fight. She says we just need to let things go a bit more. She called me a perfectionist. This is a bit true, but I feel like she could do a little bit more around the house. Things she used to handle tend to fall on me now, like picking up medication and shopping. Our nearest Walmart is a 15-minute drive from us. She's tired, I get it, but everyone is tired. I also understand she's in pain, but I feel like the accident was a long time ago. She can't keep using it as an excuse. She should be able to drive in about 9 months or so. She says we just need to adapt to the new normal until then. I might be the asshole for not understanding her needs, but I think she's the asshole for refusing to do more, especially evenings and weekends. Ooh, this one's hard. I mean, not that hard. I definitely think you're the asshole. She nearly died. She has chronic pain. She still went back to work, even though she's having seizures. The crazy part is she still does bare minimum. If I was in her position, I wouldn't be doing anything. I wouldn't be back in work. I wouldn't be meal prepping. I wouldn't be doing anything. I don't think you're showing up for her in the way that she needs. And I also think that you need to check your empathy and understand that when people are going through pain, that they need time to heal. And you don't get to dictate when that time is done. He did do an edit, so I'm going to add that now. He said, I accept my judgment and I will speak to her tomorrow. And I hate to add icing on the cake, and I get that you're probably feeling like undersupported in this situation, and maybe you feel like, of course you went through the accident too, and it's affecting you. But I feel like your response speaks numbers here. The term accepting your judgment isn't actually recognizing where you went wrong. I feel like that statement is just saying, oh, I see other people judging me now, so I'm going to give her a little more of a break. I think that you guys should probably attend therapy together. I feel like it's important to get different angles on these stories, so I'm going to read a couple of the comments from these stories as well. Now, this guy is a top 1% commenter, and he is the top comment on this post. She works full-time, she is the breadwinner, she is in chronic pain from an accident, and has a 4-hour commute? Jesus! No wonder she's falling asleep at 8 p.m., that poor woman. And all she said to you was, baby, things are tough. I physically cannot do more than I'm currently doing. How about we let things go a little? And you got mad? You've acknowledged that you are a perfectionist. It's time to buckle up and let things get messy for a while. Yes, you are the asshole. I definitely think he's right and got a couple good points there. If you're a perfectionist, then go make things perfect. If you didn't have a wife, these are all tasks you would have to do on your own. Frankly, I had to scroll a little bit to find comments that weren't super harsh. Here's the last one I'll share. Someone said, in sickness and in health. Yes, the asshole. What is wrong with you? You can't get married and promise and in sickness and in health and then instantly go back on it as soon as something really bad happens. These videos are inspired by Baby Jamie 1 and Mr. Duckers. I felt the want to make these after I literally ran out of their videos to watch, and I feel like maybe other people have too. If you guys have any suggestions about how I can do better, or maybe you guys want me to open an inbox for you guys to send personal stories in, please let me know. I am open to any suggestions. Now we're taking a break from relationship drama. My coworker has been caught stealing my lunch for 3 months, and I finally caught her. She told me I should take it as a compliment. I work in a mid-size office, and for the past 3 months, I kept noticing my lunch was either gone or partially eaten when I went to get it from the break room fridge. I meal prep on Sundays. It takes me 2 hours because I have specific dietary restrictions, and I can't just go grab something. Every week, gone. I assumed it was a mistake at first. I put a sticky note with my name on it. Still happened. I started putting my lunch in a bag with my name written on it with marker on every single container. It still happened. I mentioned it to my manager vaguely, but I got a generic response. Please label your food. I sent an email to the entire office. Cool. Very helpful. Last Tuesday, I came in early. I set my phone propped up behind the coffee machine to record. Sure enough, at 11:47 a.m., I watched my coworker Sandra, who I sit next to and say good morning to every single day, open the fridge, pull out my clearly labeled lunch, smell it, shrug, and walk off with it. I confronted her calmly. I said, Sandra, I saw you take my lunch. It's been happening for months, and that's not okay. You know what she said? She smiled at me and said, You're a really good cook, and I should take that as a compliment. Then she walked away. I went straight to HR. I had 3 months of documented instances that I'd quite frankly been tracking in my notes app. HR was actually shocked. Surprisingly, Sandra had a prior written warning for the exact same thing at this company about 2 years ago that I didn't know about. She's been put on a final written warning. She has to reimburse me for the estimated cost of the stolen lunches. HR asked me to calculate it, and it came out to about $340. She has to formally apologize to me in front of HR, which was the most satisfying 4 minutes of my professional career. She still sits next to me and hasn't spoken to me since, which honestly, perfect. I will meal prep in peace. This is kind of a wild story. The extremities that this went to is insane. I don't think you're in the wrong for everything that you did. I mean, you just wanted to eat your food. And I feel like especially since you have dietary restrictions, it's difficult. Your manager should have taken the claim a little bit serious and maybe taken it to HR herself. The OP did actually end up adding a little bit. For everyone asking, yes, I did label my food. No, I did not eat smelly food. Or no, I didn't think I drove it to her by making food that looked too good. She's a grown adult who made these choices for 3 months straight. The compliment thing is not a personality quirk. It is deranged. I'm going to read a couple of other people's opinions. She should be fired instantly. Theft in the workplace, fired instantly. Theft from a coworker, also fired. Second time she's been caught doing this, WTF, she is absolutely fired and reported to the police. Unbelievable. 3 months? If this happened twice to me, I'd be hunting that person down. No way I'm just putting my lunch into the fridge day after day, week after week, and having someone steal it. I would agree, 3 months is quite insane. Now we're stepping into some family drama. I found my no contact mom's blog. I, 24 female, need to get this off my chest because I feel sick to my stomach and my hands are shaking. I've been strictly no contact with my mother, 53 female, for 6 years. It was the hardest decision I've ever made. I had to make it as a child, but it was necessary for my safety. Today, a weird impulse took over me, and I searched her name online. I found a public blog on her personal website going back years. The most recent post was about her house. Growing up in our home, it was always messy, but my siblings left in a hurry, and it seems to have developed into a severe, unsafe hoarding. In a post, she actually admits to being a hoarder. For a split second, I felt a tiny spark of hope. She was reflecting, and I did feel sadness for her, having to go through the things we left when we were removed. Then I kept reading. She wrote a massive multi-paragraph section blaming the entire thing on me and my siblings. She claims that our abandonment broke her spirit so badly that she lost her emotional strength to address it all. She wrote that all the piles of rubbish and old newspapers and rotting boxes are physical manifestations of the grief we inflicted on her. She said each room represents the fact that she's been rejected as a mother from cutting ties from us. The comment section was filled with her friends and random strangers calling her a warrior and believing her warped side. The absolute insanity of mental gymnastics is mind-blowing. She was neglectful a long time before I left. I went no contact because of her refusal to take accountability for anything. Now she is using my absence as the ultimate excuse to avoid taking accountability for her current living conditions, saying that it has become heritage. I'm sorry if I messed up that word. I am not breaking no contact. I am not stepping back into the fire. But seeing her completely rewrite history in a public audience hurts so much deeper than I expected. I just need to vent this out into the void where she can't twist my words. She previously changed details about us leaving to her family who stayed in contact with her, but they seemed to realize after a few years of defending her, they were making this decision after careful thought. Perhaps this is the only way she can talk about it, but it still hurts that she can't admit she was the reason why we left. we lift because of her abuse. I don't know whether I should warn my loved ones that this stuff is very publicly out there, or whether I should let it continue and let them continue living their own lives without what would be very painful reopening this wound. What do you people think? I'm going to start with reading a couple of the comments. Sounds like you made a good decision. And honestly, I agree with that. Another person adds, what does she do for you? Nothing. Don't engage, don't act on it. Tell someone you trust if you must. But honestly, all she did was confirm that you did the right thing in staying away. Cutting ties with your mother is one of the most difficult choices someone can make. It's not your fault. It's clear that she was mentally unwell. There is no reasoning with someone who doesn't live in the same reality as other people. If she wants to blame you, let her. She's literally burying herself alive instead of taking accountability. So you want more from her, but you can't force her. She has to want it too. It sucks, it's not fair. You deserve a present mother who is emotionally available. I'm sorry she isn't there for you. Spend your mental energy on people who show up for you. They are worth it. Anyways, that is the last story I had to read today. I hope you guys enjoy this, and I hope you guys enjoy this form of content. You guys better subscribe. I'm waiting. Subscribe. You guys do it. Like. Comment your suggestions. Go subscribe. You're still here. You guys better subscribe. You guys need to subscribe. You guys better be subscribing by now.